Hi guys, welcome back. We are Rajeev and Akshay, and today we will be looking onto the next very commonly used structural design pattern, which is a facade design pattern. So to understand this, let's see what is a problem statement in which we can use this design pattern. Imagine you have a complex network of systems loosely articulated with each other while you are creating your distributed system. For example, a car, which is a composition of gas, engine, pistols, wheels. They all work together to give an implementation of a mode of transport, correct?
Okay, yes.
But just imagine the nightmare when you have to work with them individually. You have to run each of the components individually to move from one place to another. That would be a very complex system, right?
Yes.
So what should be the solution for this one? This is where the facade design pattern comes into the picture. Facade literally means a deceptive outward appearance. From this definition, I believe you can easily guess that facade is nothing but a wrapper object over our subsystems. We will expose our functionality through the facade interface or object. Thus, it will improve our readability and usability of your library. This is done by masking interaction with more complex components behind a single API layer. Let's see the class diagram to understand what I'm talking about in the detail. Here you can see we have a complex network of subsystems. We have class 1, class 2, class 3. And we want to simplify it for the client to be used, right?
Yeah.
But giving the access to these class 1, class 2, class 3 to the client would be a terrible solution for them. They would have to implement a series network layer of objects to get the to get
all
it
the
running for
classes
them.
Instance.
To get it running for them, yes, correct. So what we can do, we can create a facade wrapper class that encapsulates the subsystem. Facade will capture the complexity of the component, and it will delegate the whatever the call client is making to appropriate class system. So that would be the responsibility of the class facade.
Okay, understood.
Client will be exposed. Client will be using only the facade system. Means the facade will only be the exposed class or object, which will be act as a masking, which will act as a mask for our subsystems.
Okay.
So let's do a quick implementation of this design pattern here to understand what is happening here. So here is a simple console application with console.writeline, hello world. I'll be implementing all the logic in the same program.cs. It will be a very dumbed down implementation of our systems. Let's say you have system 1 and system 2, and in both the system we are performing some kind of operation, and we want to simplify the access logic for the system 1 and system 2 for the client library. So for that we will be creating a facade class. Yeah. So let's get it started. First of all, let me create a simple dumbed down version of our system 1. System 1. Here I'll be doing some kind of operation, public void operation. Doing operation 1. Similarly, there will say a system 2. So I'll create a facade class, and I'll be using that facade class for the client will be using that facade class to access this system 1 and system 2. So instead of directly accessing this network of subsystems, there can be a similar multiple layer of subsystem for this one. But all these will be accessible only via the facade class. So I'll be creating a class facade. Facade will be having the access
to the class system 1 and
system 1 2. They will be having a reference to the system 1 and system 2.
Yes.
This one, private. Instead, let's create private system 1. Create a private system 2. For simplicity, I will create a constructor in which I will be accepting this system 1 and system 2 as an object, as a parameter.
Yeah.
1 plus 1 system 2 system. and I'll be doing the setting here. This one. Okay, and finally the operation from where? Void operation.
Main. Okay.
I'll just perform the S1 dot operation and S2 dot operation. So, sorry, my bad. So I've written the spelling of the whole thing was wrong. Operation, operation, operation. Okay, so yeah, so we have our facade class object ready with us, and the client will be simply calling this facade class in there. Client will be simply calling the operation from the facade class, creating a facade new system one, new system two. And to get the operations running together, we'll just do the app.operation operation. And yeah, so this is the basic gist of the design pattern which I'm trying to explain. I hope it is the concept for this is clear. The underlying concept which I'm trying to explain, that is clear for you.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So just to test it out, let's run our application and see if it's running or not. Yeah, here we are doing operation and doing operation 2. We have both operation via the facade object. So yeah, that's it in the facade design pattern.
I think this is the most common pattern used in.
Yeah, true. It is almost used in everywhere.
Right? Yeah.
In every distributed net system architecture, we use this kind of pattern to simplify the access to our black box. Create a black box and expose the simple API.
Yes. Yeah. Facade is kind of a black box, and it will have the interface ready to use for the clients, and means client should only know what to pass and what to get.
Correct.
Right? To each.
Correct. Exactly. You can call your library, any library which you are using in the, whether it is a SDK library or NPM library. Those are also kind of facade objects. We have exposed a simple class or function from which they can implement their own logic.
Yeah. Okay.